Happy summer to all my emotional support humans all over the place. You know who you are. You're the special ones. I'm back in the bunker. I missed everybody. I missed talking to everybody. I missed all of you, my emotional support listeners. We have everyone always says we have a great show planned. We have a show planned. But I had to get back in the bunker. I've been on vacation. Ed and I came back early because we're about to start work on the Alec Baldwin roast. And we'll talk about that and bumping mics. And Ed planned a bunch of touchy subjects. I took Luna to the beach. She only bit 3 people on vacation. So we'll talk about all that and more, plus a special Roast in Peace tribute to the great sitcom legend Valerie Harper, who passed away today. So welcome back. I love you all, and here we go. Cue theme music.
Skin. Let's all come together.
Well, all right. Back in the bunker.
Yeah, baby.
Feels good to be home, Ed.
Man, it does feel good to be home. I'm officially starting to miss LA whenever I'm gone. It's nice.
You're dug in here now, man.
I'm ready.
You're dug in here. You're a Los Angelino, but I needed that double-dosed couple of weeks on the East Coast, the Jersey Shore.
It was so cool.
Spent about 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks. Like 10 days after that, everyone starts fighting and I have to leave.
Yeah.
Like 20-something relatives in one house right on the beach.
Every year, as a gift to the family, Jeff gets a beach house on the Jersey Shore, and we crowd it, and we sleep on couches and air beds. And this year, Luna and Pau came, and there's babies, and there's old babies, and it's just the most fun ever. Thank you. It's really great for our family. It keeps us all together. All of our cousins are so tight. It's really cool. We're friends with second cousins and removed cousins, and it's great, man. It really does bring everyone together.
Well, the little cousins and my nephews wouldn't know each other if we didn't do this. So, Thank you for saying that. I love doing it. I get a lot out of it too. It all started like my sister, wanted to do something special for my birthday one year, and she said, rent a beach house and invite everybody down. So it's been about a 5-year tradition at the Jersey Shore, and people fly in or drive down from wherever they are, and I feel like I'm channeling my great-grandma Rosie, I guess our great-grandma Rosie, who's I'm named after, Ross.
Oh,
it's my middle name.
I don't know. I never put that together.
Even though I never met her, I've seen videos, I've heard a million stories. She died before I was born, so old 8mm films exist of her throwing family parties. Everyone would get dressed up back then. She was a caterer, but every now and then she would use the catering hall for her own pleasure. And she'd have big Hanukkah parties and birthday parties and get the family together all the time. And I think that's important. It helps sustain me. It helps, make our lives a little more fun. A lot more fun.
Yeah, it keeps you human. That's for sure.
Until we start fighting at the end.
Every year, like clockwork.
But when you put 2 personalities, from 4 years old to 90.
Yeah, 94% of them are Jewish. They're gonna argue.
Yeah.
It's a pastime for most people.
Yeah. But everybody takes turns cooking, and it's a really special time. I taught my cousin Logan and my nephew Jared, and we taught them a little bit about poker.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
They got immediately addicted.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jeremy was the big winner, and my nephew Mitchell, who's a little older, took the big wins.
That's great.
It's fun playing poker with the family.
Man, it really is. That's how that was always family game night. Was always poker or blackjack for me.
I think I won $5 or I lost $5. But the only time I really lost to family was when I was probably in junior high or high school. I played poker down on. My sister and I went to visit your dad, my Uncle Jerry, down in Florida, and my dad and mom were going on vacation, and they sent us to Florida so that they could go somewhere together. And I think my dad gave us $40 or $50 each, my sister and I, for like to have some fun with. A lot of money back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And Uncle Jerry won all of my money playing poker.
Oh yeah, he used to do that to me with my allowance. He'd win it back from me. We played blackjack for quarters, and then and then of course I'd always want to play blackjack because it was easier. But it wasn't easier because it's for the house, and he was always the house.
Oh.
So
Your own dad taking your allowance away.
But I got wise and I stopped playing blackjack for money.
Yeah.
Then we just gambled on football games. But I got smart with it. I used to gamble chores for video games.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah. I would find little loopholes. I'm like, all right. If the Dolphins lose, I'll wash the car and and pick up the lawn. But if they win, you got to buy me Mario Brothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad once offered me. I was really little, but he offered me like $50 in the winter storm to run around the backyard 3 times naked. Just for his own amusement. There weren't even video cameras back then. It was just sheer. It wasn't like you were going to. It was just everybody believed each other. If that happened, then it was a good story. And I did it, and my penis is still shrunken from that. It had a lasting effect on shrivel dick.
$50 is so important to you when you're a kid. It would just drive you. You would do anything for it.
I once offered my nephew Mitchell. He really wanted money. He was in high school. He wanted to buy a video game or a computer or something, and we were out at the on Bainbridge Island where they live, out on the water on the dock, and it was freezing cold. We were walking the dog or something, and it was Thanksgiving. I was going up there on Thanksgiving. And I offered Mitchell like $100 or $200 or something to just take his clothes off and jump in. And he did it. And he bought whatever he wanted to buy. So we're a family of gamblers. Shout out to the family. Thanks for making vacation so much fun.
Oh, man.
So much fun.
Speaking of gambling with the family.
And the Jersey Shore, by the way.
Yeah.
Which was the best. And our friend Benji came down for a couple days to the beach house, and he's from Beverly Hills. And we went out to the one night we really went out like raging to some crazy Jersey Shore
We
club.
closed down Martell's in Point Pleasant.
Right.
And we're like, what's the worst place we could possibly go? And they're just like, go to the Shore House.
The Shore House.
And then other people were like, don't go to the Shore House. And we should have listened to those people.
Right.
But we went to the Shore House, like 1 a.m.? We pull up. Hinkus is driving.
Yeah.
Jeff's oldest friend, who's on crutches.
Yeah.
And we pull up into the Shore House.
So we have one celebrity.
Terrifying.
We have a bunch of, it's like a couple comics.
Yeah. Benji, Aflalo, you, me, Jeremy, who just turned 21. He's so awkward. And but like as like any if I was 21 in that place, I would shit my pants.
Right.
It was a terrifying place. It was Jersey Shore to a T.
Picture 500 snookies.
Yeah, not even. It was mostly shirtless men, and then there was like 15. There was like I would say 70 shirtless men and 15 women that were literally crowd surfing around the men, and they were playing the Macarena. And like horns were going off, and everyone was just getting hammered.
Wow,
it was terrifying.
The Macarena. Don't. I had my shirt off.
Yes, yeah. You went
at one point.
You adapted very easily.
I needed to get my shirt off in that place. I needed to go full Jersey Shore. I don't do it often, but when I do, I haven't seen Springsteen perform all year, so I had to take my shirt off at the Shore House. So then, basically, the door guy stole our friend Benji's driver's license.
Because he looks young and whatever, and we weren't really paying attention, and he ended up with Benji's ID. It was so Benji's going back to L.A. the next day. He wakes up and he realizes that we left his ID at that fucking horrible place. And then luckily they were open for lunch for some ungodly reason. And you guys went back and you went and got, what was that like? You went back to the Shore House for lunch.
Should we try to call Benji real quick on speakerphone?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem. Ben.
Hey, what's up? I'm at the store.
Oh, you're at the store. Hell yeah.
Benji,
What's going on?
Not much, man.
we were just telling the story about your license allegedly getting stolen at the Jersey Shore. And
It definitely got stolen. There's no alleged.
we went back there the next day at like 11:30 in the morning. There was like 2 drinkers at the bar, the owner, bartender, and people are eating like cheese nachos at lunchtime. And
11 a.m. Not even lunchtime.
And we go back to find Benji's ID, and I don't know, nothing upstairs, And then they realize, well, you could tell it Benji.
Okay, so I'll start from the top. I only had like 2 nights on the Jersey Shore, so you guys were like, oh, well, we want to take you to a real Jersey bar. So, of course, we go to this place. I walk in, and I give the guy my ID. Keep in mind, there's Snookies everywhere. Everyone's spray tanned and buff and ugly and horny and drunk.
Right.
And
that's a compliment.
And so I give the guy my ID, and then, Jeff, you were still outside walking in behind us, and then the bouncer outside saw you, recognized you, so then he came in too and was like, hey, let them all in, they're with this guy. So then the guy had my ID and got distracted because all of a sudden he's just letting people in, and then you had your buddy with the walker thing, and he was taking a while, so I wanted to make sure he got in okay.
My buddy Mark uses arm braces, so he moves a little slower. He's also...
Yeah, so...
it doesn't stop him, but
he goes everywhere.
But I don't think the bouncer got distracted. I think you got distracted and left your ID. And
we both did. I mean, usually you hand a bouncer. Anyways, that's not the point. So then the next day when I call, first I call and I'm like, hey, I left my ID there. I'm certain the bouncer has it. And they're like, yeah, we looked in the silver box. Sorry, that's where IDs goes. There's no IDs in the silver box that says Jew from Beverly Hills. Sorry.
Wow.
Then I go back downstairs and your cousin is like, oh, the bouncer came up to me and was like, I think I have someone's ID. And then your cousin was like, I got mine. So then I call again and I'm like, look, I'm 100% certain that this bouncer has the ID. They're like, all right, Wilma will call you. She's the manager. I'll take your number. Wilma never calls. And that's when you were like, we're going there. But most importantly, this was the trashiest bar. And the fact that they were open at 11 a.m. to serve breakfast is insane. Like,
you were in there like a Vice reporter with your phone walking around, dude, documenting the whole thing.
But Benji,
yeah.
They tried to alert my cousin Jeremy that they had someone's ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He asked him if it was his ID, and he's like, no, that's not mine.
So
then,
he tried to not be a criminal.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the bouncer stole it. We'll get to that part. So then when we get there, we meet Wilma, who's this like spray tanned lady with bad teeth in her 50s. And she's like, oh, yeah, it's real crowded here on Tiki Mondays. You came on a good night. Meanwhile, there wasn't one element of anything tiki in that place. It was just a bar with drunk Jersey people dancing. There wasn't one Hawaiian light. There wasn't one flower necklace. She's like, yeah, Tiki Mondays. It's like nothing tiki about it.
Benji,
I'm like, Wilma.
Yeah. Benji, I'm starting to think that you might never go back there.
No, it was just interesting. I've seen a lot of the country. I've never seen the Jersey Shore Beast before. It's a unique thing amongst this country.
So what'd you say to Wilma?
So then I'm like, Wilma, I know the bouncer has the ID. And she's like, I don't even know the bouncers. Marie hires all the bouncers. I'll text Marie. So I'm like, okay. She's texting Marie and she's like, all right, I'm going to talk to the... Meanwhile, poor Jeff Ross is sitting at the bar talking to 60-year-old alcoholics with 4 different stains on their T-shirts about what comedy's really about. They're like, let me tell you about comedy, Jeff Ross. He's like drinking a Corona at 11 a.m.
Right. You, me, and my cousin Aaron. And we're just, and I'm also nervous because you have to get the train all the way to JFK. I mean, you have a long voyage ahead of you to then fly all the way to Los Angeles. So you need an ID. I mean, this is dire straits.
Yeah, you were a friend and came with me. And then she's like, all right, I texted Marie. I'm also going to reach out to the owner. Maybe he knows something. So then she goes away for a little bit. Wilma comes back. She goes, all right, I talked to the owner. He accidentally went home with your driver's license in his pocket. Now, if anybody listening has ever worked at a bar or restaurant, you know very well that IDs can get left all the time, and you've never accidentally left with someone's credit card or ID in your pocket.
No, you put it in the register, and they take care of it in the morning.
You put it in the silver box.
You put it in the silver box. Every restaurant's got a place you put the IDs and credit cards. We all know that. And so then we're sitting at this bar with drunks, and she's like, he'll be here in a half hour. He's at his other restaurant.
Right.
And then the drunk we're sitting next to.
Pokeballs.
Yeah. The drunk guy goes, he's got a poke bowl restaurant. That's fish in a bowl. That was what this guy was sitting next to. He's like, I'm texting him right now. He's coming. Wow. And so eventually the guy who stole my ID sends the barfly out to get it and then comes back in because the owner who stole my ID didn't want me to see on his face, I guess. But I got my ID back thanks to the celebrity status of Jeff Ross. He muscled my ID out of these people.
Man, you might still be at the Jersey Shore if it wasn't for that for me coming along. Wow.
Benj, what'd you think of the Shore House when you walked in there? Where did your brain go? Because I was kind of scared. You were loving it. It seemed like.
I mean, yeah, it's so lame to say it because you want it to be different, and life is never like the TV show. That bar was literally exactly like the TV show, The Jersey Shore. Like, tan people. I never use the word horny. The only way to describe that bar is ugly, drunk, horny. Like, everyone has that word they don't like to say, but that's what it was. Because I grew up in L.A., and in LA, whenever I can get into a nightclub, I'm like, man, everyone here is so attractive and beautiful. Jersey Shore bar, you're like, well, now I get why they have the looks restrictions at all the other nightclubs I see.
Wow, very great observation, Benji. I'm glad you're home safe, and Benji's leaving right now. He's off from the writer's room, a long day at work over at the Alec Baldwin roast. So. Thank you for letting us check in with you, Benji, about that. I was just wanted to make sure you got home all right.
I will say this. There was one good-looking couple in that bar right by the entrance, and they were finger-fucking the whole time.
Really?
They went right to it. All right, thanks so much. Have fun in there, guys.
Thanks, Benj.
See you later, pal.
Thanks for getting my ID back.
You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for visiting us at the beach house at the Jersey Shore.
I'll be there with your family every year you have me.
We would love to have you back. Everybody thought you were a lovely guest, sweet guy.
Awesome.
All right, sei gesund.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
So amazing.
All right. Benji's just leaving the writer's room, and I've been writing all day. I am so pumped for this Alec Baldwin roast. It airs September 15th on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
I've been reading Alec Baldwin's book called Nevertheless, and hopefully he won't hit me. I am a little nervous. Dog, what are you eating?
She eating something?
It's really loud.
I think she's chewing on something.
Rambo, what do you got there?
Is that Rambo?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, it's about a cat. Good job, buddy.
Yeah. For those of you wondering, there are two dogs in the bunker tonight. Luna and Rambo.
The official thick skin emotional support. Humans, fuck it.
Humans. And they are good doggies. I brought Luna to the beach house. It was so fun having her there. And
she was the star of the show, man.
She really was. She really was. Until I brought her to the actual beach. And then just when she goes in the ocean, she's fine unless anyone else tries to go in the ocean. So the lifeguards would take off around 5:36, so you could take the dog on the beach. But there'd always and if I went out too far into the waves, Luna would basically chomp my leg.
Yeah.
She wouldn't break skin, but she would let me know that she was worried about me being in the high tide. And this old dude, this awesome guy, was out there, and he loved Luna, and he was like, "What a cute dog! She looks like the dog I had. I miss my dog. What kind of dog is that?" And he's like, "All right, nice to meet you guys. Bye." And he stops petting Luna, and he dives into the waves, and he swims out like 50 yards, and he's just enjoying a robust evening swim.
Yeah. And
just as he comes up, out there, Luna is literally right in his face like a seal. And he's like, "Whoa!" Like he had no idea this fucking Dutch Shepherd was on his tail.
she's so fast and strong, man. It is crazy.
And he just starts laughing and splashing her in the water. And she basically made sure he came out of the high waves and back to the shore. And he was laughing so hard, he loved her. And then I noticed that he was bleeding. And he was okay about it. A lot of people might not be, but Luna is a not just my friend, but also a hell of a lifeguard.
Yeah. That second guy, though, he was terrified.
She did scare some teenager who probably not just left the ocean, probably left the beach.
Yeah. I remember we were like, "Are you okay, man?" And he just like bolted. We never saw him again.
Yeah, no. I told that story to my accountant, and he said that I had to put all my possessions in a trust in case anyone ever sues me. Because the dog bit somebody.
I mean, she didn't bite anybody. She just kind of like wanted.
We know dogs, so we know that when a dog bites you, you're bit, you're bleeding, you're gonna have a scar.
Yeah.
But she uses her mouth to basically shake you.
Yeah. It's not a bite as much as it's a "Hey, come here."
Yeah.
She's not attacking you. It's not a malicious thing. She's trying to bring you to shore.
But it's weird how she knows no one's drowning, but yet she still acts like people are drowning.
Well, it's probably the first time she'd ever been in the ocean like that. I mean, she's
don't
been in
think
a
so.
little bit, but not like the waves were crazy.
Today I pretended I was drowning in my pool, and she definitely jumped in to save me and then wouldn't let me back in the water. Anytime I tried to go back in the water, she'd block me.
It was adorable. She was like, "You've lost your privileges."
Good girl, Luna. Come here. Luna, come. Look at this girl. Look at this cute dog. Look at this doggy.
Oh, puppy.
Oh. Good doggy. Good
So
doggy.
how you feeling about this Baldwin roast, bud?
I feel really good about it. I love the dais. I got a lot of good pals on it, and I can't say all the names yet, but
Sean Hayes, roast master.
he'll be great.
He's gonna be great.
He's a good guy. He seems like a really good guy.
Nice.
And Robert De Niro is going to be on it. So the whole thing is so elevated. I mean, he might be the biggest star we've ever had on a roast.
It's crazy because he could totally have he should have his own.
Right.
I mean, they're about equals, I'd say. They have crazy careers.
Come on.
Alec Baldwin's got TV credit.
What's wrong with you?
I mean, De Niro's the better actor for sure, but he's a high profile dude, Baldwin.
Of course, but Robert De Niro. I mean, come on.
I mean, he's the best.
The best.
Yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Here's one of my. Robert De Niro is to acting what Robert De Niro was to acting.
Oh man,
maybe it's Robert De Niro after he does his roast. Maybe it's Robert De Niro is to roasting what Robert De Niro was to. I don't know. There's something in there.
Robert De Niro is to comedy what Blake Griffin is to comedy.
That's funny. Yeah, Blake Griffin's going to be there. He's a great guy, becoming a funny comic. I'm
Your
psyched
arch
he's
nemesis
from Roast Battle. I narrowly beat him at Roast Battle last year, thanks to a positive vote from Pete Davidson. And it's going to be fun. I'm glad Nikki Glazer is going to be there. And
yeah. Chris Redd from SNL.
He's great. He's fun. He judges Roast Battle. He's super funny. It's going to be a great roast. Really, really. I don't know what I'm going to wear on the red carpet yet, if anything. I might just go straight tuxedo this
I
time.
feel like that's a very Baldwin move. He's always in a suit. I feel
Yeah.
like he goes to sleep in a suit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just.
Right. Right. So
And then the big person that's going to be there, we're very excited for.
who's that?
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn Jenner. The Olympian. She has agreed to come to a roast. What a great normalizer. What a great sense of that she is truly a good sport, not just a great athlete, but a good sport.
Yeah.
And I admire her for showing up.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It levels the whole thing up between her and De Niro. It makes it a very special, like, you got to catch this roast.
Right.
It's going to be nuts.
That's going to be a good one. Well, thank you for your help. I'm psyched for it.
Can't wait, bud. Check it out, September 15th on Comedy Central. Yeah. And let's not forget, though, you just came off a really cool couple of Bumping Mike shows.
Oh, well, forget it. I mean, it was amazing. Anybody who came out to the Skagit Casino packed the place. Dave loves these.
Two nights in a row at a casino in the middle of nowhere in Washington State.
It was so fun. They gave us a bunch of hotel rooms. My sister came with her friends, and Dave was in high spirits, and we ripped the roof off that
You
place.
saw some emotional support human T-shirts in
Yeah.
the audience.
People have been wearing them in the audience.
That's
Where do you
great.
get these?
You get those on jeffrossmerch.com, or you go to roastmastergeneral.com and hit on our merch page. Man, they're great.
Yeah.
I love them. They're hopping. They're selling.
People love these.
And we fixed the 2X and the 3X shirts.
What do you mean?
Well, the emotional support human used to be a really small square on the bigger shirts. Like on a small, it looked normal. But when you put the same print on a 2X, it looks, really weird and small. So we
Wow.
made bigger squares
Wow.
to improve the shirts. We're making
Wow.
positive changes.
Said like a true triple Xer. Who else would go to bat for the triple XLs but you two?
You gotta make them look good.
Yeah,
They
you're-
got enough problems. They don't
No.
need us making it worse.
Yeah, those obese people were sending their shirts back, going, "This is the square is too small."
Read between the nipples, baby.
Emotional support humans. Yeah, we have to sell something. And we keep getting offered ads, and I never do them. But I am tempted to do this enlarged penis pill.
Boner chew pills.
I am tempted to do it. I got to think about it. Well, I've resisted all ads because I really think of this show as a hobby.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to have boner pills all the time. Every guest gets a hard on.
You got to chew it right when we start, and then we clock it how long it takes to
Yeah.
get hard.
We need. If I'm gonna, yeah. Who said life is hard? That'll be life is.
But get through it by yourself.
Yeah.
Bumping Mike's is on the road, man. September 25th, you're going to be in Charlotte at the Night Theater for a one-nighter.
North Carolina.
Yeah, man, that's
That'll
going to
be
be
fun.
cool. And then on October 4th and 5th in Huntington, New York, you're going to be at the Paramount. I'm pretty sure those are pretty close to sold out.
In October 4th and 5th, Dave's home turf.
Yeah, Long Island.
That'll be fun.
And then on the 19th of October, you're going to be in Prior Lake, Minnesota at the Mystic Lake Casino. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then on October 20th, you're going to be in Winnipeg, Canada.
Who does the routing?
Well, they're close to each other, the Minnesota and Canada.
It is?
Yeah.
All right.
2 days after each other. And that's the Club Regent Theater. And then on right before Thanksgiving, you're going to be at Ben Salem, Pennsylvania on November 23rd at the Parks Casino.
Where is Ben Salem, Pennsylvania? That must be outside Philly.
I think it's close to Philly.
That'll
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, you get some cheesesteaks.
Dave finds casinos that
Just
no
didn't
one even
exist a week ago.
Jeez, is he Native American? I love these casinos. They're always great crowds, and the tribal. We were down at one of these Native American owned casinos. I don't know if it was Morongo or the other one in Southern California, but I found a feather on the floor. in the dressing rooms because I guess there was some, like floor show, dance show there.
Yeah, it was kind of a boa or something.
Yeah, the night before, and the tribal council came to the VIP meet and greet. We met them all, and I thought, well, I found this feather on the floor. So when we came out, Dave was talking about meeting all the tribal council people, and I pulled out the feather and said, one of them gave me their business card.
Oh my God. Now you have a forever joke.
So good. It was so fun. But yeah, shout out to Dave Attell, the funniest man alive, who lets me bump mics with him all over. More dates coming soon.
Yeah, you got a solo 5 shows in West Palm Beach around Christmas time.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, the December 13th through the 15th at the West Palm Improv.
Right.
That's going to be great.
The rest of the time I'm doing all these private events and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's fun to just get out and do a comedy club where I can truly just rip into people as hard as I want.
Yeah, no real agenda, just go and have fun, speed roast the people.
That'll be great. I love Florida. I haven't been there in a while. Those people really need a laugh sometimes too.
Especially after this inevitable hurricane.
All right, Ed. Let's do some touchy subjects.
Oh, yes.
Touchy subjects.
Hurricane Dorian's coming to Florida, and it's going to hit.
Any second. As we record this, the hurricane is on its way.
Yeah, and then Publix, the greatest grocery store in the world. You ever been to a Publix, Jeff?
Yes.
When you go to the West
Florida.
Palm Beach Improv, make sure we request Publix sandwiches for the dressing room.
Really?
They are so good.
Why are
And
they
he's
so
shaking
good?
his head.
Really?
Yes, they're the best sandwiches. Who would have thought that the best submarine sandwiches come out of Florida? Publix has the best sandwiches. Everyone's fingers are magic over there.
All right, easy. They're not a sponsor.
Well, thank God they're not a sponsor because they created for the hurricane, because hurricane parties are so popular down in Florida, they were selling Hurricane Dorian cakes. Take a look at this, Jeff. It's just a picture of the Doppler radar in Florida and a hurricane hitting the side of Florida.
Oh, my goodness. You Floridians are fucked up.
Hurricane parties are the best, man. You have the always, man. A pile of mushrooms gets you right through the hurricane.
Did you ever have to evacuate as a kid?
Never evacuated, but we got hit pretty hard. Andrew, I remember Hurricane Andrew, and that I was a little bit north, and so I didn't get hit as hard as the places that got completely destroyed. Like Homestead was like about 45 minutes south of me, and so but that place was destroyed. Like my dad's work was destroyed, all that shit. And I remember we went down there and helped clean up for a day, or at least got in the way for a day. And then
Are you offended by this cake?
no, I think it's great. I would totally buy one because hurricane parties are the best thing ever. It's the worst idea you could ever do, but it's so much fun.
I think it's important to have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they say down there, right?
Absolutely. Some of the residents said there's sweet treat and it is an important way of keeping humor in a stressful time. But other shoppers slam Publix for creating the cake as the hurricane could take the lives. It cost billions of dollars, whatever.
Shout out to Publix and the bakers and all the people out there in harm's way. It's good that at least before it hits, you have a little bit of a sense of humor about what's ahead.
And when you go to Publix, don't just go for the sandwiches. You got to get the fried chicken.
All right, we got it, Ed. Publix, you like it. Go back to fucking Florida, you fat piece of shit.
I would give anything for a Publix in this neighborhood. Publix wipes the floor with Ralph's. You have no idea.
Really?
Yes.
All right. You're really cashing in on some grudges today.
I love Ralph's. There's just no Publix.
What's next?
What's next is there's more shit going down in Florida, Miami, because the hurricane's coming. They're in a mad dash to clean up all the Bird and Lime scooters and jump by Uber and Bolt and Spin. There's a million different kinds of scooters everywhere.
So the hurricane would just be scooters flying through the sky.
It's the worst thing that could possibly. They're so heavy. They're gonna kill. It's the worst thing. I hate these scooters.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah. Do you like the scooters? They're around us now.
I tried it twice now.
Yeah.
My buddy Jordan Rubin got me to ride around with him downtown once, and then I tried it again when my cousin Shauna wanted to do it down Melrose recently, and I didn't want to do it.
It's terrifying.
But she talked me into it, and we did it, and she fell.
Yeah.
she fell, and she's still getting physical therapy. It's been 2 months, so
My buddy broke his arm the first time he got on it. He just
Yeah.
had a baby.
I don't understand. The craziest thing about these is that you could just quickly accept all these terms and conditions
Yeah.
when in fact you're really just signing your life away.
You're just going to get on this thing. They're silent. They go like 20 miles an hour, and you're most likely hammered when you're getting on one.
Right. Or trying to take a selfie.
Yeah.
Right? Or trying to save time by cutting through traffic.
Yeah, no, these things.
No helmet.
Nothing. No, it's a horrible idea.
Right.
It's just, you don't want people on these that have no scooter experience.
Eventually you'll be able to just sit on the hood of an Uber. What are we getting to? These fucking scooters in a hurricane flying through the air like metal giant locusts. All right, well, shout out to helmets. What's next, Ed?
Oh, man. All right. This one's going out to Luna. There was a pit bull that fought off a shark to save its owner. Well, I love,
Really?
Yes, I love the story. He's a fisherman, James White. He's out. He's doing like he's up to his like knees or his waist, and fishing.
Right.
And then he catches a shark, and he's fighting the shark for a while. And the shark comes into shore and starts biting his leg, and it latched onto his leg. And it
Wow.
Yeah. And it popped a blood vessel, and it was just bleeding everywhere, and it wouldn't take it off his leg.
Of course.
And he's screaming at other fishermen to come
Yeah.
over and save him. And his dog, who was in his car with the window opened the car door, ran. 100-pound pit bull. This thing's a beast. I'll show you a picture of it covered in blood from the shark. Yeah, no.
Oh,
great.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
This
What-
thing's a beast, and it like took off 100 miles an hour, jumped in the water, and then just started ripping at the shark's gills. And then the shark started biting harder, so the guy like fought the dog off of the shark. But then the dog went around back, bit the shark in the tail, and then dragged it all the way to on the shore. And like,
Wow.
yeah, totally saved the guy's leg.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then the guy, he was bleeding everywhere. It was the shark had just
Yikes.
stuck his teeth in him really hard, and then they put the shark back in the water and they let it go. So they didn't even kill the shark.
Man, they should have fucking locked that shark up for life in a zoo. Solitary confinement for that piece of shit.
Oh, and Darby the dog is his name is the house hippo.
What?
They call him the house hippo.
Hippo?
Yeah, because he lounges around the house so much. That's just the pet
This
name.
life-saving pit bull?
Yeah, this life-saving pit bull.
Oh, well. Thank you for that last final useless detail. What's next?
Oh, man. James R. Lavelle, the detective that was handcuffed to Lee Harvey Oswald when he was shot, passed away at 99 years old.
I never realized that he was actually handcuffed to him.
Yeah, look, you can see it. The guy in the white
Oh, that
suit.
guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy was always a fashion icon to me. I mean, he was dressing like
Great hat.
like Bernie Mac before Bernie Mac. That famous photo, that beige suit.
Yeah, man. What do you think that's like? The guy who killed the president, air quotes, is handcuffed to you, and then some dude just runs up and shoots him. And they all probably, do you think, they all could have known each other for all we know.
Right.
Yeah, because of everything that went down.
Well, I mean, just seeing that, being that close to a shooting and death must be. But I guess if you're in law enforcement, it's sort of a weird badge of honor. Not a badge of honor, but, you have a legendary story. It makes you a legendary cop.
Yeah.
So that probably overrides the PTSD that he would have had if he was just a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, this is something he's now probably, I guess, in his life, probably like romanticized. And I was there, his pivotal moment in history. I don't know. I always try to find a positive outlook, a positive spin on
I
everything.
imagine he had a decent life. I mean, that's a crazy thing to be a part of. I don't know how much it would mess with you. Just a total shock. It's not like you have any love for this guy.
Well, no, he probably thought he was next or getting shot, or, I mean, he probably,
Who knows?
I mean, he's right there in the middle of it.
But he did, Jack Ruby did call his shot.
Huh?
Oswald. And then he shot him.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you ever see JFK, the movie?
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
Brian Doyle Murray played Jack Ruby. Bill Murray's brother, for the Caddyshack manager.
I haven't seen JFK the movie, but I've seen JFK the airport. and it's great. It is fantastic.
Oh man.
What's next?
What's next? We got. Oh, check this out. All right. So there was this woman. She refused to give her dying grandfather a kidney, despite being the only match for him because he was a pedophile and in the KKK.
A pedophile and in the KKK.
He's a double. He's horrible. And then so she, instead of giving him the kidney, she's still giving away the kidney, but she's donating it to a stranger.
How about the KKK for a second, who doesn't let blacks in or Jews, but pedophiles are okay? What's going on under those hoods?
Oh, he's just a little frisky. It's
What the? What?
man.
So this guy, this guy was dying. His granddaughter's like, no, you can't have my kidney.
Yeah, and not only can you not have my kidney, I'm donating it to a complete stranger because you're a piece of shit.
Wow.
Would you ever donate an organ? I don't think I could. I don't think I would.
I guess it depends what it is.
Yeah,
I mean
kidneys, you got 2 of them. Lungs, you need your lungs. I guess it's just the kidneys, the only thing you can really donate.
Don't people donate parts of their liver or pancreas or anything like that?
Oh yeah, like a piece of liver and then you grow it or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about that.
I don't know.
But yeah,
But I guess if I really could and it was somebody that I needed to keep alive.
I feel like the person would definitely have to be younger than me.
Oh wow.
Like it would have to be, something like that. I get Julie. I give Julie a kidney. But
See, if it was me, I would not give your fiance a kidney.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. I would
No,
have a
you
long
don't.
talk with you guys. So, Julie, if you're listening, sorry. Wow.
Well, good for her.
I'm just kidneying you. Of course I would give her my kidney.
Oh man. All right, last story. This one's kind of a feel-good story. Matthew McConaughey is now a communications professor over at the University of Texas, his alma mater. He's teaching film school.
Matthew McConaughey, what is he teaching?
Film class. They're gonna teach films.
The use of bongos in film.
Yeah.
How to get higher than the audience.
This is the right amount of weed you need to say your lines correctly.
They're
They're gonna watch
students. I'm giving y'all an A's for all right. Wow.
Yeah, and they're going to take a close look at The Gentleman, which is an upcoming Matthew McConaughey film. So they're all going to get a sneak peek at his new movie, and they're going to dissect it, and they're going to go over his other movie, Mud, that was directed by Jeff Nichols. It's a great movie. You should check it
Mud.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Matthew McConaughey. He seems like a cool guy.
I mean, he just seems like the most fun. I saw his new movie that was out earlier this year. It wasn't very popular, called The Beach Bum. It was a lot of fun. By Harmony Korine.
Oh, yeah,
it,
of course.
From the director of Kids and
Right.
whatnot. It was a great movie. Snoop Dogg was in it. Snoop Dogg played like his best friend that was also fucking his wife, but like no one cared.
Really?
Yeah.
Did Snoop play like a character different than himself? or
No.
what was it?
Snoop was Snoop. I mean, he played a weed dealer.
Really?
Yeah.
You mentioned Snoop, and I go right for the weed.
But that movie's great. I can't recommend it more. The Beach Bum. Everyone seemed to hate it, but I fell in love with it. Of course, it's very Florida, and I like any movie that takes place in Florida.
Yeah, well, what do you know? You think Publix is better than Ralph's?
Oh, gee, come on, don't even start. All right, and so go if you are in the University of Texas and you are there, go take Matthew McConaughey's film class.
Shout out to Matthew McConaughey and all those film students. I love whenever someone asks me to teach a class or speak at a class.
Oh yeah,
I love it. You always learn something about yourself and about your craft.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken at my buddy Eddie Freefeld's classes at Princeton and NYU, and
You did one here recently too, UCLA.
I did one at
right?
USC.
USC.
I have spoken at UCLA too. Sometimes it's comedy history. Sometimes it's comedy writing. It's always interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of learning, I learned a lot from our honoree this week.
It's Valerie Harper, the star of Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore Show. She was big in the film. She was in over 56 different television appearances. This woman worked. She was unbelievable and very kind and fought for women's rights. And, she was looked up to by lots and lots of people. You met her. You worked with her.
We stayed friendly for a while. I got cast in a sitcom pilot early in my career. It was a really big break. I was a writer on The Man Show, and I auditioned for this part. Steve Korn wrote it. He was writing Adam Sandler movies, and Valerie Harper's going to be in it, the star, and it's going to be on NBC, and all these huge people were involved, and I couldn't have been more excited. I remember Hanson was the biggest teeny bopper band.
Yeah.
And I wore a really cool Hanson T-shirt to the audition. I still have it somewhere. And, I kind of wore it ironically. Or like, super, just trying to be like a wise guy because no dude's
ever going to wear a Hanson shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. And they cleared it and had me wear it in the pilot. So if you think it doesn't matter what you wear to an audition, it was the biggest break of my career. And Valerie's son was played by an actor named Danny Zorn, who I was by coincidence friends with through our mutual pal Jordan Rubin.
Oh,
Second
cool. Name
drop this episode. And Jordan is a comedian and filmmaker, and I know him my whole career, but he was an MTV intern, my intern, when I had my first writing jobs at MTV. And Danny Zorn grew up with Jordan, and he was a really cool guy, really funny, sweet guy, kind of a Gene Wilder, very sort of bubbly personality, and he had demons and wound up killing himself. I think he jumped out of a window.
Oh man!
But and he'd been kind of just sort of all over the place in his life, but it was a great pilot, and Danny was super hilarious. But Valerie Harper, it was her show, and Ron Liebman was on it. It was a great character actor, just a really talented guy, Broadway caliber guy. And Rosa Blasi, who played Danny's sister, Valerie Harper's daughter, and she's amazingly talented, still my friend today. And here I am now, never really having done much acting. I'm on set with, Valerie Harper. So I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be, like, I didn't know back then that every pilot fails. 1 out of 100 gets on. Like, I think I'm on the new Mary Tyler Moore type thing.
No, you're guaranteed success.
It was called Thicker Than Water.
Yeah.
And it was a kind of a family sitcom in front of an audience. And I knew how to work a crowd, I knew I was, but I had a lot to learn as far as like hitting my marks and how to stand and how to deliver the jokes and not look at the camera and just everything. And Valerie treated me like a peer. We had like a cast dinner, and I remember she invited me over, and she was very warm to me and Rosa and Danny, the younger actors, and she kind of, motherly wouldn't be right because it was all very professional.
Yeah.
But, we saw it that you didn't have to be a jerk to run the show. You could be really warm and really nurturing and sweet in the morning and still be very professional.
Yeah.
And even the showrunner, Steve Korn, was still kind of green in TV. He'd written some movies, and so Valerie really kind of ran that show. And it wound up turning out pretty good. But NBC did not pick it up as they do on those kinds of things. So shout out to Valerie Harper, who passed away today.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel right not doing this week's tribute to her. So
she's special to you, man.
All right. So with no further ado, let's just get to it, Ed. This is Valerie Harper.
Rest in peace. Valerie Harper, or how she was known in show business, Mary Tyler Less. She spent half her life picking up her best friend's hat.
You make it all, taking it all, because it's you, girl, and I would know it. Anyway, early in Valerie's career, she was a dancer on Broadway, and then she got a part in a play. Valerie had 56 TV credits. 56.
That's crazy.
In 1976, she did an impression of Marilyn Monroe on The Muppet Show. Today, she finished it. Valerie Harper fought for equal pay for women back in the 1980s, and she got it. But unfortunately, she blew it all on headscarves. I mean, she wore a lot of headscarves. You get it. I realize not everybody's going to get all these jokes, but if you knew Mary Tyler Moore Show or Rhoda. Valerie Harper always had a great disposition. This is real. She was quoted in saying, "I have cancer. It's in my brain. What are you going to do about it?" Well, she fought it for 6 years like a damn champion. Valerie, good luck on your road to heaven. Rest in reruns.
Oh, man.
Valerie Harper.
What a sweetheart.
She was an ace.
Worst theme song to a show ever.
Yeah. La 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 la.
Not one word.
La la la. It's like the music. It's like one guy writes the music, and the other person writes the words, and the words person missed the meaning. So they're like, let's just demo it. Let's just get it down so we have the demo. And then somehow the demo gets to Valerie Harper, and she's like, la 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 la. You know what? I have so many lines to learn. Let me just not have to learn the theme song too.
Oh, man.
All right.
That was fun, bud.
Yeah.
Happy back from vacation.
Back from vacation. End of summer. It was a fun summer. Had some rest. Got a little tan. Got to see a lot of friends, and still more to come. This weekend, I'm going to go see Ringo Starr's All-Star Band at the Greek.
That's going to be amazing.
Nils Lofgren's taking me.
Of course he is.
It's going to be so much fun. I hope he gets up there for the finale.
Man, that's going to be great. You're going to go see a Beatle.
I know.
That's the coolest. It really is.
I know. I really am lucky. Lucky guy.
All right. Well, you can check out Jeff on September 15th on the roast of Alec Baldwin, the Comedy Central roast of Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
That's going to be great. Watch that. I'm sure they're going to be playing lots of cool roast stuff all week. I love when roast season comes around.
Roast season.
Yeah, man. It's the Super Bowl of comedy. I don't care what anyone says, man.
I love that.
Yeah. All right. And Bumping Mics is hitting the road. They just did the Skaga Casino, and now they're going to, on September 25th, you can catch them in Charlotte at the Night Theater, on October 4th and 5th, Huntington, New York at the Paramount, on October 19th, Prior Lake, Minnesota at the Mystic Lake Casino, and on the 20th of October, Winnipeg, Canada, the Club Regent Theater, and on November 23rd, Bensalem, Pennsylvania, Parks Casino. Jeff is a solo show at the West Palm Beach Improv on December 13th through the 15th. Go hang out. Go have some fun.
December in Florida.
That's the best. Christmas in Florida is so much
Maybe
fun.
I'll go have lunch at Mar-a-Lago. I hear the crudité is great around Christmas time.
Just don't go to the massage parlor around the corner.
You're right.
And you can check us out at Thick Skin Cast on Twitter, and at Thick Skin with Jeff Ross on Instagram, and Real Jeffrey Ross on Twitter.
Yeah, forget all that. How come nobody comments on the iTunes? I want to see comments on the iTunes. I want to see some comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
I love this shit. When I'm bored on a plane or I need a cheering up, whatever, myself, I love the feedback.
Yeah. Or you can also email us at thickskinwithjeffross@gmail.com.
Nothing creepy.
No. And go to jeffrossmerch.com to buy your Emotional Support Human t-shirt. We're rocking them. We also have mugs. Check this out.
Really?
Yeah, we got our mugs on there. Our I'm offended by people who are always offended, Jeff Ross mugs. And we also got t-shirts for Jeff Ross. I'm offended by people who are always offended. Go check that out, man. All right, guys. What do we say at the end of the show, man?
Ed, great job. Thank you. Thanks for listening, everybody. Life is hard, but don't worry. We're getting through it together. See you next time.